Hello, my wonderful Christian entrepreneurs. It is a beautiful Friday here, and I am really excited. We are going to talk about the psychology of questions and sales messages to help us not only sell, but also have more productive discovery calls. So that is something that is super important, is that we have productive discovery calls where we are helping people to make the right choices for themselves, but also so that we know that we're in alignment with the people that we want to have come into our programs, right? Excuse me. Oh, so my friends, if you are new to my channel, my name is Leah Mason Virgin. I am a certified business coach, sales coach, life coach, and author at burstingwithblessings.com. And today we are going to talk about sales messages. We are going to talk about the psychology of selling, and we are going to talk about sales from a place of integrity. And apparently the sun just keeps on like coming in and coming in. And I'm like, see if we can move over a little. So some of the things that I'm going to talk about today is based in the information from Chris Voss from his book, Never Split the Difference. Now, I read that book, gosh, now it's been like 4-ish years. And if you do not follow him on YouTube, I highly recommend following him. It's called the Black Swan Group. And his team and the information that they give is just stellar information when it comes to sales and negotiations. I mean, they talk about it from a place of like negotiating, but really sales and everything in life is a negotiation, right? We are trying to get information, and the people that we're talking to have preconceived notions of what they want, what they expect, what they don't want to share, and we need more information so that we can help people make the right choices for themselves, right? Because that's what really sales is, right? If we do it right, sales is holding space for people. It is listening. It's learning about them. It's helping them to understand the outcomes that they want, right? And the problems that they're actually having. Not just what they think the problem is, right? But like really the complexity of all the problems. I'm just going to keep moving as the sun keeps shining. So when we're talking about questions, what we really want, the psychology behind it, is the human brain wants to say no to us, right? Like that's really what we want. We want to say no, when, especially when we are being asked questions. We just want to be like, no, no, no. Right? We don't want to say yes. We fear loss, right? Like Chris was saying, the amygdala is wired to fear loss. Like 75% of it is wired to fear loss and to really look for ways of um, protecting us from loss, right? And getting what we want in the best like deal that we can get, right? We're always fearing like, are we going to be taken advantage of? Is this not going to go? And of course, one of the things that's happened over the last 3 years with the big C and everything like that, we had a lot of coaches come into the online space who weren't trained well. And some people really did get burned, right? They paid lots of money for programs that didn't deliver at the level that people were expecting, right? And I mean, I've heard this from people who, paid $20K for a coaching that didn't deliver on the outcomes that were promised, right? But then, of course, well, I won't digress into that. So no based questions. When we need more information and we need to help people to stop and critically think, no based questions allows that time for the brain to process what is coming at it. Right. And so when you are asking questions, I want you to sit down and really write out, how can I ask my questions that will give me that will allow the person to say no, but I'm also getting a yes. Right? We want to get the yes, and people do not want to do the whole micro yes thing anymore. Right? They feel taken advantage of. That whole thing by one of the big gurus where you keep guiding people to say little micro yeses and then they're just buying. Well, they come away from that. Yeah, they may buy, but they come away feeling manipulated. And we don't want that. We want lasting relationships. We want our business to be known for integrity, right? For honesty, for lasting relationships, right? Like I have an expectation that I want to work with my clients for years to come. Right. I want the people in the online space to know, Leah is always going to show up in integrity. She's going to deliver the word of God. She's going to deliver good sales coaching, business coaching, spiritual coaching, right? Like that matters to me. I mean, be nice to Obi, poor Os. Pomeranians is not like my well, we think he's a Jack Chief. But anyway, so when we are talking about no-based questions, right? Like what Chris was getting at is it allows the brain to slow down. And we, as long as we don't keep talking, let me say that again. We have to have space. We have to hold space for a person to take the time to really process the question that we're asking, to really give us the information that we need so that together we can come together, we can link arms, and we can make the right decisions with the right information. So some no-based questions would be things like, would it be hard for you to share what you're struggling with in your business right now? No, it's not hard. And that opens up the brain to go into critical thinking, and it opens up the ability for us to really start to look at what are the nuances that may be missing from what we expect, right? My husband's so sweet. Got poor Oves over here because he was like, I'm going to come sit with your mama. So think about it, like when we have a preconceived idea that there is a certain problem, but then when we really start talking, we start to suss out the different levels of problems and the extended implications, right? The extended implications of the issue not being resolved right now. And what does that help us with? Ultimately, it helps us also to guide the person to see the value of investing in your programs or services. If we know what the implications are for not investing, we can better understand that we are getting a true value exchange, right? We can really understand that it is not being manipulated, that we all come to the right conclusions. We all come to whether or not that person is going to take the time, the effort, and the energy to finally say, yes, yours is the program that I need right now. Yours is the service, whatever it is. I need this, and I'm going to take the time, effort, and energy to pay for it, to invest in it. Because how many people have had someone say, yes, your program's what I need, and then they back out of payment, right? That to me is somebody who was more manipulated or less convinced of the outcomes and the true reasons that they need that program and service, right? So we can also say things like, would it be difficult for you to XYZ? How about, would it be difficult for you to budget this into your fiscal cycle? Think about that. Right there, that gives the person the ability to say, no, it's not difficult, or to say, yes, it would be difficult. It would be very difficult. So then why are you going to then have, waste your time and their time right? And at that point, you should be pointing them into your lower tier packages and stop wasting the time, stop wasting their time, and get them on the track that they need. This is why, yes, I love high ticket, programs. And I hear a lot of big gurus in the online space say, oh, you should only have one program. That's it. Just sell that. I don't believe in that. I really don't. And the reason why is because I want to be able to offer every single tier package for somebody wherever they are in their business building journey, in their budget journey, right? I don't want to talk to somebody and say, hey, this program is 8K. And they're like, well, I'm in debt and I've just started my business and I don't have any clients. Well, there's no way. They're going to say, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and continue. Well, I don't know. Maybe they might. But that's not an integrity for me. Therefore, I'm going to point them to my course for $197. They can learn how to sell, how to build a business, start getting clients, and then come into my next tier, my group coaching program. And then the next tier, when they're ready for some really intensive scaling and building one-on-one. And then that's when they can afford that high ticket coaching program, right? So that to me is integrity. And so for us to be able to ask these questions that allow our potential client to give us the information that we need so we can offer the right thing. We know in discovery calls, if you just start saying, well, I have this program and this program and this program, like you're going to lose the sale, period. Right? A confused mind doesn't buy because now they don't know like which one should I buy. If we're asking this question here, would it be impossible for you to budget this? Would it be difficult for you to budget this? Budget a high ticket program, they can say yes or no. And then we have the information that we need so that we can say, okay, then you are a great fit for my one-on-one program and you are ready to scale. You are ready to come in and we're going to build out what you need, your complete sales team, sales system, sales messaging, everything, and your marketing, and your mindset. Like we're going to build everything, right? But if the person is telling me they're not even ready for that, if they, it would be difficult. Right now, I only have 4 or 5 clients at a really low ticket price. Like, then I'll stop. It's time for a different program. It's time for me to give them the program that suits their needs right now. Right? So we can also say things like, is it a bad idea? Right? We can ask that question. That is a no-based question so that it allows the person the time to think, is it a bad idea for me to bring on, a VA or a team of SEOs or whatever, right? Right? We can say things like, are you against having team members in your business? That gives me a lot of information, right? No, I'm not against it, but I really don't think I want to right now. That allows us to have a conversation about whether or not truly they are against it and it is not a good idea. And then I need to craft their business plan based on that information, right? So we can say, would it be too unreasonable? Okay, there's another great one. Would it be out of the question? Would it throw off your schedule if you met with me once a week or twice a week? No, it wouldn't throw off my schedule. Yes, it would. Okay, if the answer is yes, then you need one of my courses so that you can do it on your own timeline because I only work, Monday through Friday during normal business hours, East Coast time zone. Right? Do you see how when we ask these no-based questions, it allows the person the chance to think. It allows the person the ability to give us more information than even they know that they need to think about right now. Because that's the biggest thing. we often have so many preconceived ideas as we are entering into a sales conversation that there are nuances and critical details that we are going to miss, right? And I can say, you don't want to do this alone, do you? And if somebody says, yeah, I really want to build my business alone, then we're not in alignment, right? So thinking through, what no base questions can you ask? How can you help to guide your potential client to really see the implications for not investing? Okay, because that comes from Spin Selling by Neil Rackham. If you have not read that book is just amazing. Um, and it is a critical read if you own a business and you are in sales in any capacity. It's a critical read, right? So what else do we have? I already said, is it a bad idea? Am I out of line? Are you against? So remember, people remember how you made them feel. They also remember typically the most emotional point in a conversation, or the last thing that you talked about. So, if you guys are at a place where you're like, yes, I am building out my sales messaging, I am building out my sales team, then I want you to message me. Let's get on a call and let's see if we are aligned to work together so that we can talk about your needs. If you are really intent on building out some really great social selling, I highly recommend Flow Chat. It's in the description. My affiliate link is there, and then come have a conversation with me. We will talk about how to sell for you in integrity, not spam, and not pitch people with, making them uncomfortable, but really starting to form those relationships. Bye, Daddy. He's off to mountain bike, and now the dogs are all upset. Mimi, come over here with Mommy. Mimi, that was Daddy. Mimi. All right, guys. So message me sales and let's get talking about what you need to increase your sales, have sales on demand every single day, build out and scale your business, whether you are at 0 clients or hundreds of clients, whether you are at 6 figures and want to get to 7, or whether you're just trying to break into those 6 figures. I want you to message me and let's get on a call so that we can work together and we can get your sales, your business, and your spiritual mindset growth exactly where it needs to be to create the abundance of wealth and inheritance that you want for yourself, your children, and your children's children. And I'll see you in the next video.